So sticking on the theme with like getting maximum cash flow without selling your property, we did talk about obviously the renovations, like you can increase your rent, right? You can add a dwelling, you can subdivide, and then you can also draw equity out, which could also be put in towards a renovation that could increase rent as well. Are there any other ones that you can think, like how can we increase, and if even it's not just one property, how can we increase cash flow for multiple properties in a portfolio?
Yeah, so I mean, say depends on your lease agreements. So residential, if the tenants are, it's a gross lease, which means like they just pay you a rent. So there's a few dual occupancy properties that we look at for clients where the tenants just pay like you pay $600 a week. I was gonna say 500, but 600 sounds better. And you just pay that. We pay electricity, we pay water usage. If you're paying electricity usage, chuck some solar panels up there.
Yeah.
That'll decrease your costs, so increase your cash flow. Depends on where your assets held too. I mean, billboards are a classic thing where you can actually construct them, have different income streams. With commercial, I mean, you can rent out your office, your roof space. You can build in mezzanine floors to increase your net lettable area. There was, that strategy around putting ATMs in to certain commercial properties.
All right.
But, I look at the future and go,
how long are we going to need cash for?
Whether you believe it or not, like there is a massive push towards digital, currencies because it's easier for the government to track, and they want that for simplicity purposes and taxation. Fortunately, that we've got to play to their rules, so I don't see that as a viable long-term strategy.
Yeah, I agree. And then we also touched on this. We could just touch it on briefly in this pod. We talked about it on the last one. With a residential property, can you turn it into a dual occupancy that could increase your cash flow? For example, you've got a $600 of rent for one, occupancy. Can you turn it into a dual occupancy, or 3 or 4 or 5, depending on the zoning, where you can, how many occupancies you can have within one dwelling that are self-contained, and increase cash flow that way, which could be a pretty awesome way to go.
Yeah, so there's granny flat plays as well. So a typical granny flat at the time of recording, August 2023, you're looking roughly around $200,000 for a granny flat to be built on your property. So you look at that and go, well, if I can get $350 a week out of that, I'm just doing the figures right here, over a $200,000 purchase, $350 to
$18,000 a year
divided by 200,000. That's a 9.1% return on your cash. So you go, well, where else can you find a 9.1% return? It's also going to increase the value of the home. My other sort of guidance around that is be careful of your property, because if you're hindering the main dwelling, it also reduces the value of that main dwelling. So corner lots are great for granny flat plays. Your internal lots, not so much.
Another one that I just thought of now is a friend of mine. How they increase their cash flow is they live in their property, but they also rent out a room and a part of their property to Airbnb, which can be a really good way to increase your cash flow. And I thought about that as well. Like in Palm Beach, should I buy a 3-bedroom place and like live in 1 bedroom and have an office, and then rent out a lower level Airbnb, which could basically come close to covering rent or most of the mortgage? Could be a good way to increase your cash flow as well, Airbnb.
Yeah, just know what you're getting into. If you're generating income out of your principal place of residence, there's taxable events in the future, so talk to your accountant.
And the zoning as well. Dad was saying that some places in Palm Beach, like south of I think it may be like 20 or 21st or 19th Ave, you can rent to short-term stays like Airbnb, but north, like where he lives, they can't Airbnb in his building, which is, you got to do your DD and all this stuff too.
Yeah. So different complexes, like there's the strata and the body corporate side, but they don't approve it. But yeah, there's a lot of complexities, but you think outside the box and just work smarter, not harder. we're in a massive, I guess, housing shortage in Australia, and I can't foresee it getting any better anytime soon. But yeah, there's ways to increase cash flow without selling your property, as we're all about. And then we touched on this maybe a little bit earlier around increasing your borrowing capacity, but that go back and listen to that episode as well. But increasing your income through other means as well. That's a way to increase cash flow. I guess the whole premise is people do get themselves in situations where, especially with property, where it's a long-term play, so you're getting good capital growth, but the cash flow may not be where you'd like it to be. So they switch their minds to stuff it, I'll sell it. I've made a bit of money, but then when you're selling it, you've got agents' fees on the way out, and then if you're going to go buy back in, then you've got fees on the way in, stamp duty, legals. So just be mindful of, history does show that the compounding effects of long-term investing in property is in your favour. So do what you can to hold it. But I guess coming back,
ride the storm.
Yeah, ride the storm. But then I also get too where it's your health is the most important part of your life. So if you've leveraged yourself to the hill and you're stressing out, then just let it go. And
downsides.
You've learnt a lot.
Yeah.
So just keep learning and growing. But yeah, don't give up on
the asset if you don't need to.
Correct.
Yeah. Love it. All right, where should we send people to?
Yeah, if you have any questions, please, just leave comments below. I'd love to let us know what we're doing wrong and what we're doing right as well. There's a lot of information that we just throw out every week, and we're getting some really great feedback and people, telling us what they love about it. And in order for us to grow and help others, please reach out, hello@propertypals.au, and check out the website. And if there's anything else that you need, for us to create, to
chat about,
just let us know.
If you've got a scenario of where you're at in your property portfolio or one property and you're thinking about a few different things, maybe we just use that as a case study and an example that we can help people with.
Send it through and we'll break it down. More than happy to try and help the community as we grow. As you can see, we're pretty passionate about it, and we're very grateful to be where we are. So in order to help us, fill our cup, it's kind of at that stage where you get enjoyment out of helping people. So
definitely.
Hopefully you're enjoying our sultry voices in this microphone each week.
I guess we should get you guys to hit the subscribe button as well. And if you are enjoying this pod, or there is a previous pod that you have enjoyed, please do share that with somebody that is either owns a property or is thinking about buying a property, or has a property portfolio and wants to grow that. Hopefully we can help more people, and we'll chat to you guys soon.